In this lesson, you'll be learning 15 major key progressions as inspiration for creating loops or backing tracks to solo over, or for when you're at the next jam night or looking to maybe write a song of your own. The framework for today is then going to be 4 measures in 4/4 time, about 90 BPM, nice and steady. So we're going to look to fill those measures with some progressions. Let's start with the 1 chord. So get your ear attuned to the 1, C chord. How do we know the chords in the key of C? Well, here is a quick tip for you. You need to grab yourself a copy of the Circle of Fifths. You can get one of those from my website, details down below, and find your 1 chord, so C. It lives in the 12 o'clock position on the circle. Now in there as well, you will see its relative minor, that is the chord of A minor. Think of these as chords for today's lesson, okay? C and A minor, that's 2 of the 7 chords in the key. Now what you need to do is expand your vision 1 segment in either direction, 1 counterclockwise and 1 clockwise, and then you have 6 of the 7 chords in the key of C. We don't have the diminished chord, we don't use that very much. So all you need are those 6 chords, and then you have the chords in the key. How they relate to one another, we will see as we progress through today's lesson. Why that's so useful is that shape can move around to any key around the circle. It will always be the same. So you have your 1 chord and expand your vision, and then you have the other chords in the key. Lots more to share with you on the Circle of Fifths. I've written a book about it, details below. But we don't want to sit on the 1 chord all day long. We need a little movement. We need something to happen. So a great first progression for you is a 1/4. Where is the 4 chord? It exists counterclockwise in the circle. So C moves counterclockwise to the chord of F. It's a 1/4 progression, so C to F. Now, the first progression, you can get an entire song out of that, as Bruce Springsteen did in his classic Born in the USA. It's just a 1/4 in the key of B major. Another couple of examples were Everyday People by Sly and the Family Stone, key of G, and Manic Monday by the Bangles, that uses predominantly the 1/4 in the key of D. That's 2 of the 3 primary chords in the key of C. The third one is the clockwise step from the 1 chord. So from C, we move clockwise to G. So here's a 1/5. Now, I've done something a little different here. We've changed the harmonic rhythm. The harmonic rhythm is the rate at which the chord change occurs. So the 1/4 just earlier was changing every 2 measures. Now here, we're changing every 1 measure. So the harmonic rhythm is 4 beats or a whole note. Okay, that's the 1/5. Now, the 3 primary chords, we often see them in progressions all together, and there are countless number of songs which have used just these 3 chords. We begin with the classic rock and roll progression, the 1/4/5. You'll know this. What are you hearing? Of course, La Bamba by Richie Valens. We've got Twist and Shout by the Beatles. Just a couple of obvious examples. But many other songs use different combinations of the 1/4 and 5. Let's just go through a couple of others for you. So here's a 1/4/1/5. First song that comes to mind for me when I hear this is Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. In the key of D, this exact progression. Let's try another. Here's a 1/5/4. G, and down to F. This is Helpless by Neil Young. In the key of D, it's just that 1 progression. We can change that, maybe go back to the 5. in measure 4. Let's hear that. A 1, 5, 4, 5. I hear that, I'm thinking All the Small Things by Blink-182, maybe by Hanson, the 1, 5, 4, 5. So many songs are created by just using those 3 chords. Of course, we have the minor chords available, bringing a little bit of darkness to proceedings. Let's begin with the 2-chord. Now, the 2-chord, C, D, would be the root note, and as we see in the circle, it's going to be a minor chord, D minor. So here is a 1, 2, 1 progression. Chris Stapleton had a massive hit with this progression in his song Tennessee Whiskey, which I more recently heard in Etta James's song I'd Rather Go Blind. It's the exact same progression. A 1, 2, 2, 1. No reason why you can't begin and end with the 1 chord. It just continues to loop in that nice way. Let's take another progression beginning 1, 2. This time we're going to go ahead and do what I call the walk up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So C, D, E, F. As we look to the circle, that's C, D minor. The 3 is E minor, and then F major. Let's give that a listen. Songs coming to mind there, Here, There and Everywhere by the Beatles, key of G. Daydream Believer by the Monkees, key of G as well. Even Boys Don't Cry by The Cure, key of A. Moving on to a 1-3 progression. Now this destroys me every time I hear it. Just something about this progression. It's I think my favorite of all time, and it's just instant melancholy. Here we go. So 1-3 will be C to E minor. Check this out. Streets of Philadelphia by Bruce Springsteen, key of F, uses this progression in the verse. Roy Orbison's Crying, it's the chorus. Just like destroys me every time. Enjoy that one, the 1-3. That's been used to great effect in a 4-measure progression. Let's begin 1-3 and extend. This time a 1-3 to 6 to 4. C, E minor, A minor, F. Probably sounds familiar. Someone Like You by Adele. We Are the Champions by Queen is in the chorus. Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift. Or Price Tag by Jessie J. All use this progression. And let's move on to the third combination of 1 to a minor chord. It'd be the 1-6. So C to A minor. Again, a very familiar sound. So C to A minor. Just back and forth to begin with. So I'm hearing Hallelujah, Leonard Cohen, Jeff Buckley. That's the verse progression. Let's extend this out into what's called the 50s progression. So this is a 1-6-4-5. Very nostalgic chord progression, commonly found in like Doo-Wop and 50s music. Obvious one is Stand By Me by Benny King, Unchained Melody, Righteous Brothers, Even in Every Breath You Take by The Police, I Will Always Love You, Dolly Parton, Whitney Houston, Octopus's Garden by the Beatles. It's in the 1-6-4-5. Taking another example of the 1-6 start, what we can do is we can switch out any chord for its relative minor or major. So if I have the F chord, its relative is D minor, so I can switch that out to get a 1-6-2-5. This progression as it loops then gives me a 2-5-1. 1 progression. That is very, very common to jazz music. It's a bit of a must if you want to get into jazz music. The 2-5-1, very nice sounding progression. Let's hear that. Two, 5-1 is a must. You want to learn that. Now we're going to consider a couple of progressions that do not begin on the 1 chord, because you don't necessarily always need to begin on the 1, but the 1 chord still sounds like home. So here is the first example of 6-2-5-1. That's A minor, D minor, G to C. Give this a listen. So again, we're using that 2-5-1, but we're ending up on the 1 chord. One that comes to mind for me, Island in the Sun by Weezer. It's in the key of G. Let's have that play out. Another great one here is the 4-1-6-5. So the 1 chord is coming in measure number 2. This is heard in songs like Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, Learning to Fly by Tom Petty, even Wheels by Foo Fighters. This is the 4-1-6-5. Now the interesting about this kind of progression, it's one of those that can just keep on going. It never kind of feels fully resolved. But if I were to analyze it, I would consider this in the key of C with that 1 chord coming in measure 2. Good one, you solo over that for days. And this next one, whilst I would probably put this in the minor key, I'm putting it here as a major key progression as a 6-4-1-5. This is super common. Let's give that a listen. Africa by Toto, Save to 9, Eagle Eye Cherry, Despacito, Louis Fonsi. They all use this progression. And if you know a bit about theory, you'll know that this is the 4 chord song. The 4 chord progression beginning from the 6. Now, what we can do is we can switch that around a little bit, swap those chords around to get to the ultimate progression in the major key, the 4 chord song, the 1-5-6-4. The absolute must. Let's give it a listen. So familiar, that progression. It's heard in so many songs. Let It Be by the Beatles, With or Without You by U2, I'm Yours, Jason Mraz, Take Me Home, Country Roads, John Denver, Take On Me, Aha, Someone Like You, Adele, When I Come Around, Green Day, She Will Be Loved, Maroon 5, Let It Go, Idina Menzel from Frozen. Such a common progression. The 4 chord song, the infamous 4 chord song. I recommend working with the key of C and then looking to move these to different keys following that tip with the circle of fifths. I hope you are taking notes there. If you don't worry, you can get a PDF of all of the progressions via Patreon. Did you like the format? If you did, let me know in the comments, and do like and subscribe if this is your first time with me. Here's another video YouTube thinks you will like. You practice well. I'll see you next week.